Join me as I dive into some of the craziest true crime stories that are so wild, you won't believe they actually happened. True crime stories have a way of captivating us like no other. There's something about the combination of real-life events, the puzzle of it all, and our own morbid curiosity that draws us in. Whether it's the psychology behind the crimes, the investigation process, or just the sheer brutality of some acts, these stories have a strange allure that's hard to resist. The central theme of today's video is to explore some of the most unbelievable true crime stories out there, the ones that seem almost too bizarre to be real. From crimes committed for the most absurd reasons to investigations that led to even more questions. We're going to cover it all. You might find yourself questioning the motives behind some of these crimes, or marveling at the complexity of others. Our goal is to take a look at these unusual cases, and try to understand what makes them so uniquely captivating. Unbelievable true crime stories often leave us speechless, and today's selection is no exception. Let's start with the story of the poisoned Tylenol capsules. In 1982, 7 people in the Chicago area died after taking Tylenol capsules that had been laced with potassium cyanide. What makes this case so shocking is that the killer was never caught, and the method used was so simple yet so deadly. The case led to a massive overhaul of the way medications were packaged and secured. Another unbelievable story is that of the disappearance of the Sodder children. On Christmas Eve in 1945, a fire destroyed the Sodder family's home in West Virginia. 5 of the 9 Sodder children went missing, and despite a thorough investigation, no bodies were ever found, and the cause of the fire remains a mystery. Theories range from a serial killer to a mafia hit, but the truth remains elusive. The story of the Hinterkaifeck farm in Germany is another mind-boggling case. In 1922, a family of 6 was brutally murdered on their remote farm. The case became notorious not only for the gruesome nature of the crime, but also for the strange occurrences that followed, including reports of ghostly apparitions. The killer was eventually caught and confessed, but the motive behind the crime still puzzles investigators. One of the most shocking twists comes from the story of the Phantom Killer of Texarkana. Between 1946 and 1947, this serial killer terrorized 2 states, killing multiple couples in their homes. What makes this case particularly chilling is the killer's ability to seemingly vanish into thin air after each crime, with no clear motive or lead on their identity. Recapping the main stories discussed today, we've covered the Tylenol poisonings, the disappearance of the Sodder children, the Hinterkaifeck farm murders, and the Phantom Killer of Texarkana. Each of these stories has its own unique elements that make them stand out as particularly unbelievable. If you're as fascinated by these stories as I am, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below on which stories shocked you the most, or suggest other unbelievable true crime stories for future videos. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you in the next video.